Hi, I'm Teresa. Welcome to Cocoon Cast, where we deep dive into movies and discuss all things cinema.
Hi, I'm Rebecca. Today we'll be doing a midweek movie review of the new movie, The Retirement Plan.
Midweek movies are a great time to take a chance on a movie you might not otherwise see. Check out your local movie theater for midweek bargain days. Some even have movie clubs where you can take advantage of special pricing. Maybe take this opportunity to take a break from all your stressors at work. If you're burned out and want to change the pace, this is a great time to take a chance and see a funky, lesser-known movie. Rebecca, tell us about The Retirement Plan.
When Ashley sends her daughter away, she turns to the only man she can trust to keep her safe, her dad. Even though he hasn't seen his family in over 10 years, he's eager to step up to the plate. Little does he know, Ashley hasn't told him the whole story, and there's a good reason for that.
Rebecca, tell us why we chose this movie.
I thought you chose this movie.
No. I thought you chose this movie.
I think that might have been the box.
Uh-oh. Did the box choose this movie? Oh my! The box chose this movie!
All right, I chose the movie.
Somebody needed a break from being burned out at work. This is why we saw this movie.
I just figure it's midweek. We're all getting off work. It could be a good movie, but let's just give it a try.
We'll be the judge of that. Let's talk about the movie. Since we've established that the movie was chosen for us in a divine sense of the word.
Well,
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about it. So what did you notice, Rebecca, about the movie?
I noticed how much I didn't like it.
Oh, wow. Out of the gate.
There's a lot of character actors in this movie that I was excited to see once I was provided the cast list,
Yes.
but just the payoff didn't work as well.
Well, and there are some well-known actors, like we're talking about Nicolas Cage. Like Nicolas Cage?
He's really just disappointed me the last couple movies I've seen him in.
Oh, come on. The Pig movie?
Did not see the Pig movie.
Pig movie was good. And, of course,
Oh no, not
come
that
on,
one.
what is it?
The
Way-
Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. That should have been the title for this movie. The last one should have been The Retirement Plan. This should have been The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, because everybody talks up Nicolas Cage in this movie. They're like, he's so great. He could have trained Rambo. And all I see is this guy in this Hawaiian shirt going, hey, you hold the door. We're going to grab a guy in. I'm going to punch him. Then we're going to grab another guy in.
Okay, we have to admit that was creative.
That was
3 guys
creative.
show up at the door and he's, older. Somehow they made him much older in this film. They're like, you're like almost 70. And it's like, the guy's not even 60 in real life.
This is Hollywood aging at its finest. You put somebody in gray hair and a slightly mangy beard and a Hawaiian shirt, all of a sudden they're old enough to be your grandpa, literally.
I was going to, well, you could be your grandpa at that point. Well, and honestly, I don't know. I have kind of a love-hate thing with Nicolas Cage, meaning I think he's a good actor.
So would you say you're moonstruck by him in this movie?
Wow. Oh, wow. Nah, I don't know. And that's the thing that's funny. It's not like Liam Neeson. I love him. I can't wait to see him. It's like, I'm enjoying some of the movies he's in. He, was in The Bromance with, Mando from, like that.
I do love me some Pedro Pascal.
That's right. And so I thought, hey, this could be funny. And
It was funny for all the wrong reasons, though.
well, yeah, funny bad.
Don't get me wrong. Ron Perlman's great in this. I love...
Yes. That was unexpected, too, I think.
Yeah, and I really like Jackie Earle Haley. I think he's kind of an underrated character actor in Hollywood right now.
Well, and it's set in the Cayman Islands, so you're thinking, oh, beautiful set. I mean, set design, me and the set design. I was like, oh, wow.
You were bored.
I was bored. And then they went to this beautiful mansion. This one has like 3 pairs of shoes and I'm like, and fuzzy chairs. I'm like, who is doing that? I was not impressed. And no
This is
disrespect
how
to
bad
that.
this movie was. I was so much more distracted by trying to figure out what brand her pair of shoes was from.
Ooh. See, I didn't go there. I just thought, who will show up next and he will want to kill them? Because as we're saying, let's talk about that. He is a retired assassin. He said he worked for the government. Ashley's his daughter.
But you don't find that out right away, which is something I will give the screenplay credit for.
Tell me this.
I will give them credit for not immediately establishing Nicolas Cage as this tough guy. There's definitely some
Well, and she didn't know it. Ashley, his daughter, did not know that as well.
Yeah, and it's not like, I'm going to send her to my dad to protect her because he's a tough guy. It's like, I think he's far enough out of the way of fire, I guess you could say.
Right. And that's a great point, though, because that was the whole premise is my dad is on this island. Although she hadn't talked to him for 10 years, but she knew he was in this island and she had his exact address. That made me laugh.
The character even admits, I don't know if he's alive. I don't even know if he lives there.
But yet she sends her daughter to her dad overseas, not knowing if he is alive. It's like, huh, okay, so take a plane, honey. Here's where he used to live. Good luck. I'll see you. To me, there were some plot holes that were pretty painful.
It wasn't a plot hole to me. It was more of just a failure of character research and communication.
Is that a thing?
I think that's a thing because internally as a character, there's some logic that kind of comes through with what you're setting an expectation to for the audience. Like, yes, they haven't talked in 10 years, but somehow she's expecting that he'll still be there. Not, hey, I reached out to one of his old friends. I think he lives there still.
Oh, okay. And I'm laughing. I mean, that sounds all shrinky, right? Which is my dad will always be there even if he's not there. So I just existentially believe he's there.
But by her own admission, he was gone 9 months out of the year when she was a kid.
Correct. And I could buy the whole estrangement. My relationship with my parents are complicated. You know, her mom has since passed. I can buy that. And even if it's, I know he's over there, but I haven't seen him, I would have been like, fine, versus I don't know if he's alive or dead, but I'm going to send my daughter there. And it didn't elicit to me suspense, like, oh, is he going to be there? Is he not going to be there? I'm like, what kind of mom puts your kid on a plane if you don't know the dad's there? I'm like, well, come on.
Even the granddaughter tells the flight attendant, she goes, oh, I'm going to go see my grandpa. Oh, that's nice. Is he going to pick you up? No. Okay, I guess I'll call a cab and see if I can get you somewhere.
I know. And I'm not trying to be overly critical. Unfortunately, it just... And I understand, they're desperate. There's a whole story behind it.
They're desperate and stupid. There's not desperate with
and there's
a plan.
Fearful. And that's the part where I kind of go, okay, maybe the stupidity lends itself to the daughter and the son-in-law are afraid. They're afraid for their lives. They're afraid for their daughter's life. That's why they're putting her on this plane, so we understand that. However, it just didn't connect for me. It just felt, I don't know, lazy writing, like you said, maybe lack of communication.
There's one line in the movie where I can't even remember Nicolas Cage's character's name. There's he has two names.
Well, correct, because he has his real name and his spy name.
Yes.
Right, so he's Matthew, and I think Jim is the other.
Yes. And surprisingly, that only gets brought up for one scene and a half. There's so much good material that they could have had fun with this, and they just chose not to.
Well, and I think the fun part, and let's talk about why we didn't like it versus we just didn't like it, because I think it's fair to say, but I think part of it, the reason I didn't like it in part was because of that. And Nicolas Cage is quirky.
He's funny, though. The man knows how to be funny.
He does. And so this whole quirky premise, I think, could have been much funnier because I don't know if it knew what kind of a movie it was.
Honestly, it felt like somebody watched Burn After Reading. Very underrated Coen Brothers movie. Highly recommend. I think somebody watched that movie and decided to go, I can write a story that makes fun of action movies the way that this makes fun of spy movies. And they got through the first draft. And their friends saw it and they're like, you have some great ideas. Let's just go in the backyard and shoot it.
Oof. What do you mean? Not shoot it. I'm thinking it's such a bad movie. Let's go ahead and shoot it.
Boom! Kills him.
You mean with the camera?
I mean with a camera.
Oh, it's funny. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Okay. No, and...
These movies are the reason people think Hollywood is money laundering.
Oh, wow. There's a broad statement. What made me think is some of the Liam Neeson movies that have been coming out are, they're coming fast and furious. No pun intended. Yeah, I know, right? But they're coming out at an alarming rate. They're just cranking them out. And, they have the, Commuter, Retribution was his last one.
Still have not seen that.
Oh, that one's gone. That one's out of the theater.
Are you sure? I thought.
No, it's gone. I was looking a few weeks ago. It was poof and gone. I'm like, hey, we should. Oh, that was gone. No, this was here. That one's gone. And I think there's a certain part where I know we've talked about your gold standard of assassin kill 'em movies is
John Wick.
That's right.
Currently, it's John Wick.
And it's always tricky because do you compare it to a John Wick movie, or do you say this stands on its own? However, it needs some love.
Honestly, the better comparison for this film, I think, would be The Professional, or as in some countries, it's known as Leon.
Oh, and how would that rank?
It's still way below that.
Oof. Okay. Well, and I don't, we've talked about it. I don't like to be critical just for critical sake. I don't like to say.
I wanted to enjoy this movie. Every movie I want to give an opportunity to enjoy, but when you make certain artistic decisions that I feel like you're failing your audience, I can't enjoy this movie.
Well, and that's a good point. Even though the box chose this movie for us, the divine box chose this box for us, I would say I think it was unfortunate that there were a ton of stunts. And there were parts of it that were laughable, but I don't think that they were trying to be funny.
There's a couple moments where I thought they were funny, and Ron Perlman did a really good job with his younger co-star. He wasn't overbearing, and she wasn't overshadowing him. I thought that was a really nice touch.
That was nice, and our whole team actually agreed on that. And I did hear chuckles in the theater. Granted, there were 5 people in the theater, but there were including our team. And I did hear a few chuckles here and there. So some people were finding it, I think, maybe more enjoyable than you and I had. Do we have any questions from the box?
In doing some research about this movie after we saw it, we found that it was a set of movies that were commissioned to be done in the Cayman Islands, 3 to be specific, and this is the first of the 3. Do you think you're going to want to see the other 2 when they get released?
If they're anything like this one, it's going to be bated breath for me. I feel like the Cayman Islands people are losing their money. We barely saw anything. There was maybe one sequence in the beginning of the movie that showed the lusciousness of the island. And then everything else was just exterior shots of generic places in the Cayman Islands.
No, I would agree with that. However, I could see them saying, well, we have well-known actors and actresses. Here they are, snap, 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 go autograph them or, get their autograph. The thing that made me laugh is this is kind of a touristy piece or kind of a, hey, come to our islands. I'm thinking, if there's assassins and all these people are getting on planes and killing people, it's I don't think I want to come visit your island. That sounds a little dangerous to me. Rebecca, 5 moths have come to join us this midweek.
There's going to be a lot of them flying away today.
Oh, wow. Should I send them away now, or do you want them to? Do we wait for you to answer?
I will mercilessly send 4 moths away. This is a 1 moth movie.
Oof. All right. Not surprised. However, I would say number 1 reason why.
The cast is what holds this movie together. There is not much there, but the cast works with what they've got.
That's great. And you'd said just a few minutes ago, every movie has an audience, which I tend to agree. Who do you think would like this movie? Who's the audience? Because like we had said, there were some chuckles and there were some people that were enjoying it, I think, more than you.
Snarky answer. Date night movie. The kind where you don't have to pay attention to because you're doing something else.
Oh, so you're doing the whole Jerry Seinfeld making out in the back. It's a date night movie. So we can make out in the back row. Got it.
Serious answer.
Yes, ma'am.
This is a midweek movie if you've got nothing else going on and you kind of want to just be dropped in some place for escapism for an hour and a half.
Yeah, and it was about an hour and a half and didn't feel it felt long, but not overly so. And so would you say the movie's worth a watch?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay, that would just be just flat out no.
Skip this one, but if you want to watch it, it's available.
Correct. And hopefully we've given our cinema community a few options. So My Moths, I would say My Moths.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, wow. I know.
Are you going for half a wing today?
No, I'm with you. I'm going a wing. And not because you convinced me of The Wing. I think The Wing is, as you said, the cast. I did feel that they were trying. It didn't feel like they phoned it in completely. I felt like they were trying. They were making all these weaves and turns and suspense. They were trying. It just felt so flat. Thanks for joining us for this midweek review. We're always excited to create experiences to bring our cinema community together.
Come back to the channel this Saturday for our weekly show where we will cover The Expendables 4 and on our Retro Rewind, The Expendables. Please like, subscribe, and share our channel. If you enjoyed this midweek review, you might check out last week's show where we reviewed A Haunting in Venice and Dumb Money.
Remember, cinema community movies are
better together.
Thanks for watching. See you on Saturday.